Well, thanks everyone for coming. Again, I'm Cristina with Pink, and I wanted to talk to you about an action that we put together last year in the wake of the BP oil spill, which was horrible, but about a month after the spill actually happened, we noticed that people were pissed, people were sad, people were frustrated, and obviously people hadn't really found a channel to express that frustration other than write about it or talk about it. You know, the worst oil spill in history had occurred, you know, hemorrhaging our oceans, and no one had taken to the streets that we had heard of, so we said, this is what we're going to do. And within that same time period, within that week, our colleagues in Pink, in other parts of the country, went to a BP headquarters and actually dumped tons of dead fish, which was aggressive. You know, it was creative. Naked with pasties. So this is the naked truth. We're bringing it right to your front step. And that week, we started to chat with other people who were interested in doing a similar thing. And again, like you said, when something makes you a little nervous, you got to sort of push past this, because when you're creating, organizing an action, you don't really know what's going to happen. But the good thing is that what you envision to happen doesn't have to be the end result. It could just be sort of a map for you to take and discover and see what happens. We thought that we were going to put together an action with maybe 50 people, and about 400 showed up, which means that we had to cater to the event, to the logistics of the event. So our goal was to put together an action that created an image for people to relate to, so that we can convey to the general public, hey, BP is not getting away with what's going on. Like, obviously we're trashing their name, people are pissed, and we're not just going to sit here and let you lie about what's going on, covering up the mess with chemical dispersants and making people sign, you know, non-disclosure agreements. Like, we see past this. We're going to take to the streets. We're going to work together, and we're going to fight what's going on. So we got together with groups of concerned citizens and the Freedom Liberation Project, which was actually a group that we had never heard of, and they had a totally different vision than we did. They had a more apocalyptic vision, and people were going to be dressed in white and dump the black oil on themselves, and we were like, great, you can do that, and we will dress up as mermaids or ocean animals. And our idea was that you can take a national or international event and make it personal, and that could be really powerful for people. Like, we're owning what's going on. This is something that's affecting all of us. So the day of, it wasn't the 50 people we were expecting, it was 400 people. Holy crap, right? But we wanted to make it an action that was very accessible for people. So we wanted to make sure that, you know, there was very little chance of arrests, and we got a bunch of legal observers there, which are all factors that you have to sort of take into consideration depending on your action. We tried to work with the police, tried to keep it orderly. But our initial vision was for it to be a flash action, and it wound up taking a lot longer than just the 15 minutes we envisioned, because there were so many people. It was really great, very colorful, and I think that direct action doesn't just have to be something that gets a lot of press. It could have been the 50 people that would have showed up, and had those people been committed people that would have been willing to do the action once a week for the next 6 weeks, that could have been just as powerful. We were pretty pleased that we got such a great turnout, and we got a lot of media coverage along with some of the other actions that were happening in the country. So that's the BP action. With Code Pink, we've also done other creative things. The war is pretty heavy stuff, and you know, we're used to seeing the traditional "Stop the Wars Now" banners, and so what we decided to do was create a Make Out Not War Kiss-a-thon. And so for a while, and it's still ongoing, when it gets warm, we're out there. We have a kiss-a-thon and invite everyone to join us, and it's a very, catchy thing. I think it's very easy for the general audience just to pass by an action and say, oh, okay, that's going on, I'll just walk past it. But if you see a kiss-a-thon, you're going to want to know what's going on. You're going to want to stop and say, hey, what's going on? What are you guys doing? And we would have, we'd have a person there ready to talk to people about our message and give them stickers and be creative. We also have an ongoing campaign with the larger boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, and what we do is boycott a settlement product. And we've been going to Ricky's and have had actions outside of Ricky's in spa attire with robes and with mud all over ourselves, and that's been a really great way also to personify and take on these issues for ourselves, to make it more personal and to encourage other people to think about it on a personal level also, because it can be very easy for the general public to just detach themselves from something that they don't really have to think about. That's what I have.
Okay. Great. We have the video from, let's show that. This is from the Village Voice, they're a city blog covering the event.
They've already done so much damage, they really need to stop trying to impose liability shields, stop trying to get employers to file waivers or sign waivers or anyone else. And they really need to stop getting journalists out of the Gulf when people report this story. And they need to stop letting their dream get in the way of the cleanup efforts.
And what's your name?
Caroline Nagy.
For who?
Great.
So what I really admired about this action and why I wanted to invite Cristina to talk about it is because, yes, you have sparkly mermaids pouring oil on each other, but she's also talking about we can't have fishermen in Louisiana signing away their rights for settlements. Like they're getting out the hard political message while they're creating a spectacle. So thank you so much for your work and all of the team's work.